I'm ready. Hi. No, I wasn't straightening my hair. I didn't even have time to do that. I didn't need it today anyway. Shouldn't do it too much. No, I was just talking to the kids upstairs. So, yeah, takes a while. We always say, before we go to bed every night, we always say what animal we're going to be in our dreams. Even though they're a bit older now. It's not something that they need, but they kind of like, sometimes kids have something called separation anxiety, or i.e. they won't go to fucking sleep. So I thought to myself, well, I need to be able to learn how to get them to learn how to transition between the energy of being awake to the energy of being asleep. It's a bit like, if you imagine when you're a kid, or even if you're my age, even if you're me, getting in the bath. I don't want to have a bath. I don't want to have a bath. I don't want to have a bath. And then you get in the bath, you're like, oh, I don't want to get out of the bath. I don't want to get out of the bath. It's that kind of energy when you're a kid, or still a big kid, when you don't want to go to sleep. You don't want to go to sleep. And then when you're in bed, you're like, oh, I don't want to get out. So I was trying to find a way of like transitioning that energy for them. So what we do every night is we say what animal we're going to be, and then we meet up in our dreams, and that way it kind of like makes it easier for them to transition between being awake, because they're thinking, oh, and we'll be on another adventure. So but yeah, it was just something that I thought of many years ago when they were really little, and I still like saying it, even though they're nearly 11 now, and they're like, oh, mum. I just think it works. So there's a top tip there for any parents. Neither of them wanting to be an anchovy. For those of you who don't know, I didn't make them. I gave them a choice. This was the point. I had a bit of a lesson with them yesterday. I said to them, look, you can have 1,000 Robux. 1,000 Robux each if you eat half an anchovy. And it was to see if they'd actually do it. And they did. So we'll see. Like, the Robux have gone now. So now they can work out the life lesson of, was it worth doing something they didn't want to do or not? So there you go. Oh my God. So yeah, welcome guys. Steve, you are more than welcome, my darling. You really are. You're an absolute legend. Thank you again so much for letting me borrow your CDJ. I wouldn't have been able to do the 62-hour live stream without your help. So I'm madly thankful of you. So thank you so much, darling. David Hart says, my lad is 13 and my girl is 3. Oh, what an age difference. Yeah, both of I have twins. So I had it over and done with in one. I'm not ever having any more children. Ever. Because unless when I make my millions, we can have a surrogate mother. And I might have more children then, but I personally not having any more kids, because it was the most boring time of my life. Not necessarily being pregnant, that was fine, but I had no problems at all. It was more just afterwards, it's just so shitty and sicky, and it's boring. It's really boring. I mean, I bought my kids their first Xbox before they could even walk. So there you go. Oh, that's cool, David. Jason says mine are 28 and 26. Grandkids are 3. Wow. It's crazy to think that you're a granddad, Jason. Massive shout out there to Jason Naughty. Hard House Royalty in the house. No, I did buy myself an Xbox. Yeah, I did. Okay, fair enough. You got me. But I bought it with the Kinect. I bought an Xbox 360 after I had the kids, so that I could lose weight on Dance Central. That game, that was brilliant. I have a headache today, before we get started, I need to let you know I have a headache. I drank a whole bottle of Oyster Bay wine yesterday to my trance live stream. And I felt fine until later on in the day, and I have been I just feel not shit. I don't feel shit. I just feel not 100%. And my plan was I was going to have an experiment this week where I was going to drink wine every single day just to see what happened to my body and to my mind, because I like to test myself in these ways. You know, I did that obviously when I did the 62-hour live stream. I did a lot of mental exhaustion stuff, and I quite enjoy it, but I've had to abort this experiment of drinking white wine every day, because I got one day in, I was like, no, it's I enjoyed it at the time, but it's so not worth it. It's so not worth feeling shit. So I'm going to carry on tomorrow, because that's when my wine gets here. I bought some nice wine off Majestic Wines. So I'm going to do one day on, one day off and see how it affects me. But I literally can't do it to myself today. The most I've done to myself is have a can of Monster. I've not had any like tablets or anything like that. I've drunk loads of water. Schlur or apple ties is nice.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Okay, let's get on with it. So I've had 2 weeks off. So we've got quite a lot to get through. So if you got an email from me today, then you will know that your track's been played tonight. If you didn't get an email from me, I haven't listened to it yet, because I have got quite a big backlog of tracks to get through. So without any further ado, our first track is Mark Ross, Universal Chaos. You guys will know Mark Ross, he's pretty much on every single week. This is a really nice tune. Let's see what you guys think of it.
is no reality. You are the universe experiencing itself. The sky calls to us. The universal chaos. Universal chaos.
So, yeah, I think I actually have played this one before, but it is a really good tune. I think what's probably happened is Mark's probably sent me the same email twice. What I tend to do is go through them. I go through them all, like, so I'd never, ever, ever actually miss anybody's emails. So sometimes this can happen if you've sent me the same tune a couple of times, but no biggie. Right, I'm just gonna see if I can find Marco Rossi's thing. Whoa, my head is really hurt. This is why I don't drink alcohol, because I won't be able to deal with stuff. Hang on, we're getting there. Demo drop, here we go. So last email I've had off you is updated version. Yeah, I did wonder with this one about why it was showing as 24 minutes, but then it wasn't actually 24 minutes long. which was quite weird. Okay, so you've given me another link there. Is it downloadable? It is. Okay, that's helpful. Okay, so let me just take out the other one. I'm just going to download the next one that you've just given me, Master A. And Tony, your one was New Strides, wasn't it? Export glitch. Yeah, I think so. I think so, mate. Yeah, these things happen. I think sometimes it can happen when you've swapped out a file and then stuck a different file in. Weirdly. So New Strides is, the new one is V2 and it was an MP3. Okay, got it. Okay, so that's those updated. Okay, so everyone liked that one. Richie said that he thought it needed to be a bit faster, maybe, but that's what a pitch faders are for. Wyatt, thank you. Thank you. I feel recognised. I appreciate that, Wyatt. Thank you very much. Cool. Okay, so let's get on with the next tune. But yeah, again, Mark Ross is kind of unaware quite how good he is. But yeah, we love him on here. By chance, has anyone finished their Omji remix? You know, remember we said a few weeks ago that we were all going to do a remix of one of his tunes, Omji. I'm just wondering if anyone's got round to finishing theirs yet. If you want the parts for that as well, I'll re-upload them while we're doing this, and get them to you. Hang on, let me just put my thingies on. Not yet. Yeah, I haven't started mine yet either. We'll give ourselves an extension, don't worry. Right then. Next up, we have got Marco Rossi. So it's a good job. It was a good job that we just got that sorted then. Okay, so... God, having 2 weeks out has really knocked my my flow with these streams. Okay, Marco Rossi, Ernest. Okay, let's do it. that was Marco Rossi and Ernest. Really like that. Can I just ask, Marco? Can't remember what your name is in the chat now. I know a lot of you have different names in Twitch that you do in your DJ or production career. It is Marco. It's Marco. It's because I'm reading. It's my dyslexia. I read that as Marcross UK. I was going to ask Marco, do you work in headphones when you're making music? Because you might want to just go back in and revisit this track for the bottom end. I'm finding it quite not muddy, but there is quite a lot of bottom end, probably around about 40, maybe like 30. I don't think my Mackies pick up anything under 30 or 40. Both headphones and smallish monitors. Yeah, I have a feeling that if and when this is played out loud, like loud in a club, you might get a bit too much bottom end coming through on this mix. So, I mean, I would go back and I would just roll off around about 30 or 40 just to be sure. Maybe slightly higher, maybe slightly lower, but it just feels like it's slightly too big on the bottom end there. You don't want to get rid of it completely because obviously it's giving it that, that rumble and that sub to it. But maybe it could just do with being lowered a little bit, if that is the case. That's the only thing that I could hear that needed anything doing to it. I love it. I love the progressiveness to it. I mean, looking at the waveform, it's 9 minutes and 7 seconds long. And usually when a track's that long, I'm like, oh, for fuck's sake. Because I think it's a long time to listen to one tune all the way through. When I'm listening to music that I'm going to like play in my sets or like promos, I skip through to certain parts. And if it hasn't grabbed me by that point, I don't bother with it. However, this was enjoyable to listen to for the entire 9 minutes. And that says something. And I can see from the waveform that like a third of that is the breakdown, is your progressive breakdown, and your coming into the crescendo. I loved it. I thought it was really good. Really, really good. Well made, and it's a good progressive techno track. You were worried about the long break? No. You kept it interesting, and that's the key. You kept it interesting. As a few people said, they loved your snares. Your snares were good, man. Really good. I like it. I like it how it is. This is an exception to the rule, where having it as a longer track just sounds cool. So yeah, well done, mate. Okay, next up. You can't beat a good snare, can you, Richie? Stop being rude! I know what you're thinking. Stop it. Richie. Right, next up we've got Wilson Serrano. This is a riff sketch. So Wilson said it's not finished yet. So let's have a listen. getting far too into that. I forgot that it ended because it was only a little rough sketch, as he's put here. It was 3 minutes long. I was wanting that to carry on. I really was. That's amazing. Wilson, take a bow. Like, again, your melodies are always on point. The separation of your sounds is beautiful. Like, it's productionally, it's really, really high production. Like, before I forget, guys, you need to give him a follow on SoundCloud. I noticed you got a few more followers since last time, Wilson, but we need to get you noticed a bit more because hang on, why have I put that in twice? Why have I put it in twice? There you go. There you go, darling. Because your whole back catalogue that you sent in, they are all this good. They're all amazing, and you're not getting enough plays. We've got you up to 92 followers now. You should be on a fuckload more. Thank you guys for following. Thank you, because like he's just amazing. Every single one of your melodies, your top lines, or your counter melodies and your core progressions are that they are interesting. They're not obvious. They're not, for someone like me that's classically trained, I kind of preempt where something's going as a progression when I listen to trance tunes. And if I'm right, I lose respect for the track. And when I'm not right, again, like we've spoken about on this show a lot of times, good music rewards listening. So the listener gets a dopamine release when they hear something they're not quite expecting in a musical, within the musical rules, so to speak. So that's why I really enjoy your trance, because they give me inspiring ideas as to how I would go about my chord progressions and my melodies and my bass progressions, because I get stuck in patterns of how I work musically. So I mean, there are some really good plugins for this that can be really helpful. Ableton's got a good one which comes as standard, which is, I think it's just called Scalar, which will help you, especially if you're not familiar with music theory or musically or like classically trained or whatever. I mean, to be fair, it helps, but it can also be a hindrance as well, because you can get stuck in patterns of thought when it comes to your progressions and stuff. So Scale is a good one. There is another plugin called Scale or Scale 2, which also gives you it will give you different modes, different scales to work in, like Dorian, Alien, or Alien. My dyslexia gets the better of me. There are loads of really good tools to help us now in this day and age to be creative with our trance or anything melodic. So, Hawthorne. Do you know what? I didn't realise just how many scales there really are. I think pentatonic's a good one for energy. David Hart says, I use Cubase. Not many do now. Cubase is always like at the top of, like, it always wins awards. I started learning on Cubase like 16, 17 years ago, long before it even had an audio pool. And it made sense. It really just makes sense. And people who start or use Cubase don't particularly move to anything else. I mean, I'm FL Studio. That's the one that I know inside out. Like, there's pretty much nothing that I don't know about FL Studio. However, at uni, they've taught us to use Logic and Ableton. And I would say to anyone that's starting out to, depending on what system you're using, however, I would say Ableton's probably the most logical one to use. However, it all depends on how you translate data, how you work creatively. FL Studio it's a pain in the ass, but I love it. It's like the relationship that it's never going to work out, but you're still together. because I'm a very tangentful producer. So when I'm able, or when I'm given too much of a free rein, I will end up having so many ideas, and my playlist will become, because you can have multiple playlists in FL Studio as well. So I have one for ideas and I have one as my main thing I'm mapping out. And it can quite easily turn into like a fucking storyboard, quite easily. So yeah, it does rock. It does. Like I'm so quick on FL Studio that, you know, it's that doesn't really matter to me anymore. But I would say to anyone that's starting out, unless you've got someone around you who knows it inside out. Like I've got Guyver on tap. Obviously, Guy's my other half. So whenever I had any problems in the early days, I could just ask him. So I know for a fact that if he wasn't around, it would have been even harder. So you can't be a good pain in the arse, says Richie. There you go. Just out of interest, Wilson, what do you use? And what were you using for your pluck there? No, hear the pun she just dropped. What did I say? What did I say? The tool I use gets me locked within a key, and then it comes to those melodies. Even though the scales are locked, those are the most fun. That's cool. Spire, yeah. I thought it would be Spire. Dean says, I thought FL was easier to learn than any of the others I've used. Yeah, but that because it was the first one that you've used. Use anything long enough and you'll get used to it. Guyver on tap. Fuck off! Stop it, making me blush. Stop it. Don't, because I'm in a silly mood and I've had a quarter of a can of Monster now. Okay, let's move on. Wilson, keep them coming. Keep them coming, darling. Loving it. Okay, next up we have got... Do you know what? I'm just going to move these around quickly because I can see certain people who are in the chat. And I really, really want to introduce this person to you all, okay? So this is a new contender to the show. Well, there's a couple of new contenders in the show that I've seen that are in the chat at the moment. So this is a lovely girl called Drift. And Drift is here. I've seen Drift in the chat. Drift is a singer-songwriter. And this track is just... Oh! There we go. Drift the Oracle. Please, 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 please go and give her a follow. I have the Instagram and the SoundCloud for you guys to follow as well. But you have... Listen to this. Her voice is just amazing. Are you ready? Let's go.
No puedo escuchar tus palabras, pero puedo escuchar tu amor. No puedo tocar tu cara, besar tus labios. No te olvido, baby. forget you, baby. La la la, la 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 la, la la la, la la la, la 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 la, la la la.
ما نقدرش نسمع كلامك ما نقدرش نحس بروحك باغي انا لمسه منك باغي انا همسه منك نحس بيك معايا نشوفك حدايا يا عمري نسيك وجامي نفرقك
Non te olvido, baby. Non te olvido, mi amor. Non te olvido, baby. I don't forget you.
I don't forget you
I don't forget you, baby. La la la, la 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 la, la la la, la la la, la 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 la. La la la, la la la, la 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 la. La la la, la la la, la 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 la. La la la, la la la, la 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 la. La la la, la la la, la 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 la.
Oh. 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 It got me straight in the feels. I've actually got tears in my eyes. Oh my God. What a tune. What a tune. What a voice. What an absolutely beautiful voice. Honestly, Drift, that is so beautiful. Yeah, Dean Richardson said it. About time we had some talent on here. Guys, I hope that you go and give Drift a follow, please. Instagram is here. SoundCloud again is here. I have nothing to add to this in terms of like any constructive criticism. I know that this track has come out. I think you said it was August 27th it came out. So you guys can get hold of this now. I think it's amazing. I really do. And you've got such a beautiful voice. I just started singing again this year. Wow. I actually lost my speech after a head injury. What? Wow. Do you know what? This is something that I've been talking about very recently on social media about. It's all around the idea of and the notion of limitation breeding creativity and kind of like oppression and obstacles and facing adversity are all melting pots, catalysts for creativity and for expression, self-expression. I honestly believe everything is for a reason as well in life. I believe that the universe puts these things in our paths to guide us to what we are supposed to be doing with our lives and to go towards what makes us feel good. And I'm just so happy to hear that you found your voice again and that you're back doing this. It's amazing. It really is. It is turning. It's alchemy. You're turning something that was a perceived negative thing, life situation, and you are transforming it into something beautiful. And isn't that what music is all about, really? You know, Yeah, that is synchronicity. Yeah, it really is. It really is. It's it means that you're in the place where you're supposed to be. And it's never an easy road, but it is worth it. It really is. And I'm just so happy that you found us and that you've given in this track, because it's just brilliant. I can't even look at you like right now, okay? What was that film, Step Brothers? Oh, yeah, I'm going to be listening to that one a lot. Amazing. Thank you so much, Drift. Thank you. Okay, I'm really sorry to whoever is on next. Who have we got next? We've got Peter Edwards is next. Nothing is a meaning. Okay, so let's have a listen to this one. Just put my headphones on. Yeah, I really, really like that one. Peter Edwards, Nothing is a Meaning. A few bass clashes around the beginning. I heard. Where are we? Here. Those strings on the top are moving, which means that the bass note needs to move along with it. So I don't know if Peter Edwards is in the chat or not. It's basically down to, I think what's probably happened here is they are using a loop, or are just not hearing what I'm hearing in this. But all it is it just needs that bass note, the offbeat, to move along with the changes in key from the strings and the top notes. So let's have another listen. This is okay. Now, the introduction of these strings is going to mean any time that you introduce any new melodic elements into your track and then you change the notes, you have to make sure that you compensate that for in your bass line as well with the progression of the bass. That's okay because it's in like it's not in the key of it, but it's called an augmented chord. So it's in like a leading note or a leading chord, and it will resolve. So this is okay. It actually adds a bit of like suspense to it. However, when we get to this bit, see, that's getting a bit too muddy now. I don't know if anyone who on the headphones can hear the bass on that. But all it means is the bass needs to just change with the top notes. Yeah, exactly, Dudley. Dudley! That's all that needs to be done. That was the only thing I could pick out really from this. I think for its stylistically, it's very Brainbug, very BBE, 7 days in 1 week. I like it. It's cool. I like the vocal. I think it's good. So yeah, well done, Peter Edwards. Okay, next up. Next up, this is a good tune. I had to check this one out as well because I was like, that's a bit good. That tune's a bit good. Now, this is someone called Lucky Rabbit. And this tune, whoa, oh, it is a really, really good tune. Really, really good tune. I think you guys are going to love this. Yay! Lucky Rabbit is in the chat as well. So without further ado, it's really, really cool. Really cool tune. And it all checks out. I had to just ask Lucky Rabbit, like, because something else was flagging up as the name of it on Shazam. But I looked into it, and Lucky Rabbit looked into it, and it was usage of the same one of the loops, one of the melodic loops in there. However, I've listened to both of them. They're completely different tunes. They're just using a couple of musical elements which are kind of the same. But you guys listen to this track; it's amazing.
I'm about to get you moving. It's your night, move. Go ahead, do what you're doing. It's your night, move. I'm about to get you moving. It's your night, move. Go ahead, do what you're doing. It's your night, move. About to make the world stop. It's your night, move. about to get you moving. It's your night move. Go ahead, do what you're doing. It's your night move. I'm about to get you moving. It's your night move. Go ahead, do what you're doing. It's your night move. About to make the world stop. It's your night move. I'm about to get you moving. Go ahead, do what you're doing. Let it out, let it go, let it go. Let the music in your ear pull you in. About to make the world stop. It's your night move. Gonna make the world stop. DJ, make that beat rock. Rock. DJ, make that beat rock.
Okay, that was amazing. Oh. I love it. I loved the fact that it was dubstep, but then it was also almost hardcore as well. The distorted drums, amazing. It was very energetic. It triggered me so much in the best of ways. Loads of energy, bags of energy, and that's what I love. Like, that is good music rewards listening. I was getting dopamine hits from listening to that. You know, it's making me feel good, and that's what good music should do to us. So, yeah, Marco says, I need a shower now. Oh. I went all out and had a music video made for it. I think that's a really, really wise decision, Lucky Rabbit, because getting yourself some more exposure, as much exposure as possible for this track, is the best thing that you could be doing. It's that will make it. I mean, like they say, it takes 10 years to be an overnight success. It takes 10 years to be an overnight success. And this is the kind of a track that will make this an overnight success for you. It's just so good. Richie says, made all my hairs stand up on end. It's not signed. Wow. Gosh, if you want me to help you to get this signed, I know a few labels which would take something like this. A few labels turn you down. That's okay. Remember that J.K. Rowling, 16 people turned down that book, or 16 times the publishers turned down that book before Harry Potter was a thing. You know, the point being that Drift isn't signed either. It's yeah. I mean, if you two want any help with that, I will do what I can. I know some people. I do know some people in a few of the bigger labels. I mean, I have 4 record labels myself, but they're small, independent ones, and they can only get people so far. But yeah, I mean, these tracks are worthy of getting on bigger labels. And until then, please don't value your worth or put your worth in the fact that you have or have not had a contract from a fucking record label. You know, there are ways now that you can just release your stuff without any of that. You don't need to worry about that kind of thing. But it really needs to go on a good label, this. You know, I mean, like I said, I would love to take them, but I see a bigger picture for this. It's not about me and what I could do, because what I could do isn't enough for what these tracks deserve, quite frankly. But yeah, there's a few people on Twitch as well who make and release this kind of music. I'm thinking probably Kutski, keep the rave alive for Lucky Rabbit. I'm not too sure for Drift. I think Drift, you'll get signed, Drift, naturally anyway. Like you said, you've only been doing this again for like the last year. The more you do stuff like this, the more that you'll just be giving yourself exposure and getting your names out there. So, John, yay! Send it over to John. You can trust John as well. This is the right genre of record label for you to go to. And for me, it would stick out. It would just be me wanting to sign it because I knew it was good. And that's not a good thing to do. Not if you want the artist's best interests at heart. I think Kutski would be able to help at least guide you in the right direction of where to take this. Drift is looking for producers to work with. Guys, there you go. Make sure you get in contact with Drift if you want to do some work together. This is what I love about this program. It's bringing us all together, working with each other, hand in hand. Ooh, ooh, yay. Fucking love Twitch. Makes me wanna itch. You can tell I'm not a songwriter, can't you, Drift? Fuck. Twitch, itch, ditch, bitch, sitch. That's it. There we go. Hey, I'm in the ditch on Twitch. Oh, kitsch. There you go. But even rhymed slightly. Okay, who have we got next? Next up we have got Dean Richardson. Here we go. Looking for chapstitch. What's chapstitch? What is chapstitch? Chapsticks. Oh, you lot are just carrying on now, aren't you? Pitch, yeah, we could put. Okay, should we write a song about Twitch then? Is that what you want to do now? Is that it? Glitch. Oh, glitch. Yes. Stop distracting me. Stop it. You know I've had half a can of Monster. This isn't fair. My ADHD is coming out now. Stop it. Itch. Rich. Yes. Oh, I need to write all these down. Stop it. Stop. Don't look at the chat, Amber. Don't look at the chat. Don't look at it. Just put the next song on. Just do that. Okay. Are you ready?
we go, here we go, here we go, here we go. Here we go, here we go, here we go, here we go. Here we go, here we go, here we go, here we go. Here we go, here we go, here we go, here we go. Here we go, here we go, here we go, here we go. Here we go, let's kick this. Here we go, here we go, here we go, here we go. Here we go, let's kick this. Here we go, here we go, here we go. Here we go, here we go, here we go. Here we go, here we go, here we go. Here we go, let's kick this.
Wow. Wow, we were. Dean Richardson. That was pretty epic. That was pretty epic. Can I just say a massive thank you to Always For Real. Thank you so much for gifting 5 subs there. I really appreciate that. I need to write your name on my arm. Hang on. That's the rules. Thank you so much. Thank you. And yeah, if you were lucky enough to get a sub there from Always For Real, make sure you say a big thank you and welcome to the family. Wow, thank you so much, darling. And also DJ Lucky Rabbit, thank you for subscribing. Oh my goodness. Thank you. Thank you so much and welcome to the fam. You're going to love it here. DJ Hypnotic, thank you for the follow. DJ Dead End, thank you for the follow. Azimuth Man, thank you for the follow. Igor as well. Thanks so much, guys. And Direct Drive, Rattan, Hazel, Laura Skelton, Bella Rosa. Who else? Nico, Navi the Creator, Digson. Oh, Alistair, thank you so raid. Thank you. Thank you so much. And Llama Rober. Thank you as well. Oh, Alistair, thank you. Did you have a good stream? I hope so. Thank you so much for choosing us to raid. We are doing Demo Drop today. We've just finished listening to Dean Richardson's song. Song! I always call them songs. Oh, every time. I've done it for years. 20 years I've been in this business now, darling. And I still call them songs. Really weird. Hang on, let me just write Always For Real on my arm. Songs of Rave. It is. It is. Let me get the spelling right. Here we go. Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da. There we go. Always For Real. Thank you so much for your support, mate. Thank you. Really, really appreciate it. I appreciate you. Hello, Night Boat. Shit the bed. Oh.
To be boss subscribed.
Always For Real. Thank you so much. Ah, FTP, see you later, Bo. Oh my God. Guys, if you have just been gifted a tier 1 sub from the amazing Always For Real, you make sure you say a big thank you right now. God damn it. Wow.
Lil Miss Jules.
Thank you, my love. You know what that means, don't you?
Try
It
on
means I have to
RL.
put your name on my face now. That's what 10 subs is. Now, where's my pen? I'll do it while the next song's playing. Fuck! Mate, thank you so much for your support. Seriously,
Cesaria.
thank you so much. I really, really appreciate you. Oh, okay, so let's have a look. Who's the next one? We've got David Hart is next. Always For Real. What do you mean? No, don't write it. Okay, I won't. Aww. I won't if you don't want me to. That's better for me. That's better for me.
Margarosa.
Do you know what? It's really funny when I've been doing my usual DJ streams. It's been getting quite a bit of a running theme lately, which is great because obviously it's great for me and the channel. And all this money that I get from the subs is going straight back into the channel again, which is just mind-blowing to me that you guys are supporting a hard house DJ like me. You know, it's been an amazing realization to not just me, but something that I always tell everyone else to, or try to encourage other people to do, and that is to find your own way with this stuff. You know, you find your own way and create something, create your own career. Like, don't wait to get signed by a label, you guys. Who, you know, we were just talking then to Drift and Lucky Rabbit there about getting your amazing music signed, and the fact that you're not signed yet is not a reflection on you as a person. You will always fall in and out of favour or popularity, you know, especially someone, speaking from experience. I've been doing this for 20 years now, and you cannot expect to constantly be given attention by the genre that you're playing in, you know, by the scene that you're in, by the promoters. Things change, new people come in. You have to try, and there's one major thing about everything that has happened for me on Twitch is you have to be of value to people. If you can become a value to people, then you will always be appreciated and you will always be valued if you can be a value of anyone else. And it's one thing that has given me so much joy, has been to be of value of others, to be of service to others, be that with the mental health stuff, be that with these live streams. I mean, I'm not used to getting anything on these live streams. Like the fact that Always For Real has just like dropped 15 subs on these. I don't expect anyone to ever be subbing or tipping on these things. It's literally just something that I like to do every week for you guys to get your music out there and help get your names out there and push you. It's a really important thing for me. And that kind of ties in then with the stuff that happens when we do the DJ stuff. So anyone who is wanting to get into live streaming, especially on Twitch, that's the golden rule really, is to be of service to other people. Always For Real. It's not your bad. That was brilliant. That was brilliant, mate. Thank you so much. I honestly really appreciate it. And it really helps build the community as well. So thank you so much. So yeah, we're going to carry on now with David Hart's track. And
Game Master 88 subscribed.
Let me just put this on because I'm just going to scream. Hang on.
Coffee 80 subscribed.
Happy anniversary!
Nigel on 753 subscribed. Jay Solomon subscribed. Drift the Oracle subscribed. Wash_01.
Is this not your natural state? It's the unspoken truth of humanity that you crave subjugation. The bright lure of freedom diminishes your life's joy in a mad scramble for power, for identity. You were made to be ruled. In the end, you will always kneel.
Isiano subscribed. Hunt Bunny subscribed.
Wow. David Hart, do you know, I've seen you in the chat quite a bit. And you've been really supportive on my live streams. I've seen you for a while, but it's the first time I'm pretty sure this is the first time I've heard one of your tunes. But from having you here in the chat and from speaking to you, I knew that when I got to hear one of your tracks, it would be good. And it is. And I'll say now, like for me, and I'd say for most producers, trance is probably one of the most difficult genres to nail. It is a really good track. I do mirror the sentiment that it might be slightly too slow, but that's only because the style of trance that you've made here, and I'm guessing that you might have used some of the Dave Parkinson sample pack stuff. If you haven't, then well, if anyone else doesn't have that yet and you make trance, check it out. Dave Parkinson stuff is really, really good for this kind of trance. In fact, some of the kicks in there you probably wouldn't really need to delve into anything else. Like there's really, really good stuff in there. I did a 140 version as well. Cool. I'd like to hear it it's only 2 BPM. However, it's quite a lot when we're talking about this BPM area. I'd like to hear it at about 138 or maybe 136, 134. I try not to get too caught up in BPMs, just because it can limit us a lot. It's on your SoundCloud. Cool. Have I given out your SoundCloud link? Let me just do it again. So, guys, David Hart's got 154 followers right now.
TransNF91.
I want us to get him up to at least 160 before the end of the show, please. This is one thing that we can do when we're all together like this is help push each other and give each other the incentive to carry on. Because this is the thing with making music. It's like having a baby, right? It's like having a child. I used to, Dave Parkinson, yes, I thought so. I used to layer kicks, but found it took away the productivity. Yeah, I still enjoy layering kicks. It's probably more something that I do in hard trance. So like I'll have one that's maybe like more of a gated kick, and then on top I will probably have one or two more for like the girth, and then one for the click, for the for the transient on the top. Always for real. Thank you for gifting a sub there as well, mate. Thank you. So there is still merit to layering kicks. However, it can slow down the process of getting a fucking tune finished. What was I saying about music? Making music's very much like having a child. It's many, 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 many years of not getting anything back. And that's very similar to when you have a baby. When you have a baby, you don't get anything back from it for a while. You don't get I love you, until they're old enough to speak, and as they get older and, that you can interact with them more. But in the very early days, it's all about, you have to you just have to pour love into it, and you don't necessarily get anything like in terms of feedback or anything tangible there in the moment. It's not instantly gratifying to be a music producer. It is instantly gratifying to be a DJ. It really is. And that's probably one of the biggest ego shocks for me 8-9 years ago, was to have to come to terms with the fact that this was not going to be easy, and no one's going to give a shit. No one's going to like your shit song for a long time. Your snare's always going to suck for a really, really long time. So that's kind of like how it can be, and to just get a few more people when we're together like this to give some
Synergy_NM.
feedback to someone like David here and everyone else who's been on the show, not just today but all of the days. It gives us all a much needed incentive to carry on sometimes, because a lot of the time we just think fuck this,
Nikki
but we never do.
_
We
sign
always
_
carry on.
Lee.
But it's that roller coaster relationship that you have with it, and it's very, very similar, I find, to being a parent. It really is.
Happy
And if it's not, then
anniversary!
maybe, you know, maybe for some people it's not that deep. Maybe for some people it's just a way to get better DJ gigs or something. But I find for me it's something that it takes over. It takes over your life
Industrial
in the
Coder
best of
once
ways.
subscribed.
And for all of us to be able to come together like this, it's just magical for me. I absolutely love it. I love the fact that I can just geek out with you a lot and talk about this kind of shit. Thank you, Wyatt Earth. Yeah, it's all positive, this, you know, all of it is. Remember, this is a safe space for you guys to show your vulnerability,
Hart
because this
music.
is exactly what it is, especially when, well, whatever music you make and you're doing it from the heart, you're being vulnerable, and being vulnerable is not a weakness. Being vulnerable is actually a strength. It's a very courageous thing to do. So there you go. Tash Tika, did I see that you've been raided by Kutski tonight? That's amazing. I'm really Tash is one of my students. She's one of my DJ students. Not that she needed much other than a bit of guidance, really. Yeah, you was brilliant. Guys, go and give Tash Tika a follow as well, especially if you like your hard house and your hard trance and your trance. She plays vinyl as well. Wow. David Hart, in terms of anything technical or musical in that track, can't really think of anything that needed to be spoken about, which is a good thing. No news is good news, as they say, apart from the fact that I think it could have just been a little bit faster, purely on the basis of the kind of the kind of trance that is, the style of it. But I think you already knew that anyway, because you've made a 140 version of it. So amazing. Thank you so much for giving that one in, darling. To anyone that is new to this as well, the demo drop means basically what you do is you send your track, your original track, to Amber D Promo. That way. So everything's backwards. amberdpromo@gmail.com. Head your email with demo drop. You can send in a WAV or an MP3, a file, whatever floats your boat, or a SoundCloud link. What I will say is, try not to send a WeTransfer link that will expire in 7 days, because we do this once a week, and if you send it in before I've had chance to get to it, I then have to ask you for another one, and then chances are I might not see it, because we get quite a lot in now. We're quite busy. The reason why I don't just play anything on the show is because I need to make sure that this is still entertainable for other people, and I also don't want to set you up for a fall either. If you aren't ready yet, or if the track that you've sent in is not musically listenable yet, I will leave you some feedback on what you could do to change that, to help you, and you'll always get a response from me. So there we go. Unless it's Jeffrey. Yes. Forgot about that. Oh, okay. Let's move on. Next, we've got Foresight, and this is Infinity. Wow, there we go. Foresight. Happy anniversary! Mate, thank you so much for gifting 5 tier 1 subs to the community. Mate, I really, really appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you so much. Guys, if you were lucky enough to get a sub there from Foresight, make sure you say a big thank you. Happy anniversary! Wow. See, I'm not used to this happening on this show. This show isn't usually one where this happens. Massively appreciative though, guys. Thank you. Oh, I really am. Thank you. Foresight, going off that track there.
Chris_Augie.
The fact that you've written your own vocals, now this is a really important part of keeping interested in our own music productions, because music's quite disposable, and there aren't many opportunities for us to put something personal into a track. So that means that it can be quite throwaway for us, even in the development or the making of the track. For example, what I found really helpful, and this is something that I learned from Guy, because Guy doesn't play any instruments. I play instruments. Guy doesn't. Guy had to find a way that he could put his own personality into his music. So for him, it would be through making his own riff sounds from scratch, using Harmer, using Vaz 2000. Lee, thank you so much for the raid. Come on in. Did you have a good stream? Did you have fun, Lee? Yay! Welcome, raiders. Come on in. We're doing demo drop today. We are just talking about Foresight's track that we just listened to. So we're just discussing, if any of you are up and coming producers, artists, just discussing about the importance of putting something personal into your music. Because when we do that, it gives us an incentive to finish it. So, for example, with Guy would make his sounds from absolute scratch, from initiate preset, from its basic sound wave, and work up from that point, which I would recommend that people do, that you reverse engineer any of your favorite presets that you hear in your favorite synth, and learn how to get that back down to its original sine, sawtooth, pulse wave, whatever it is, by reverse engineering it back down to its most basic form. Because then what you get to be able to do, you have so much more control over your sounds. And it's really important when it comes to layering, shaping your sounds, and getting that incremental 1-2% better each time. Really, really important. So David plays guitar. Yeah, I play piano. So for me, I can put something personal into a track by playing something in. I play something in. I can always elaborate more on it, in the piano roll, but I play something in, and then it kind of gives me an attachment to it. That can also work against us as well, because then we can get emotionally invested in a sound that we've spent a long time on, and it might not actually work for the track. But you'll get better at discerning that the longer you make music. So in terms of what Foresight's done here, Foresight used his own voice and wrote the lyrics. Finite is, what was it again? Let me just find it. Finite, excuse me, I can't find it. Yeah, there we are. Finity is finite, infinity is infinite. Like, it sounds really cool, and in the robotic voice as well. Finity is infinite. Like, it's me trying to do in a robot voice. Oh, I don't know what's the matter with me today. But finite is not a word. It is. Finite is a word. It's definitely a word. It's that wine from yesterday, yeah. It is now, dude. Exactly. So, point being, try and put something personal into your music, and it will definitely give you more of an incentive to finish the track as well. It really will. If you're not a singer like Drift, or me, I'm not a singer. It is a word. Yeah, it's definitely a word. Welcome in, Miss Mayo. Yeah, so I think that's a really good plus that you've done here, and I hope that you get this track signed, because I really liked it, and I really hope that you guys are following Foresight now. Foresight has got 52 followers now, and I'd like us to get Foresight a few more. Cheers, guys. Okay, let's move on. Jason Naughty and Direct Drive. Yes, now this is an amazing tune. An amazing tune. I really, really, really like this. Okay, let's go. emotional. That was Jason Naughty and Direct Drive. Emotional, and emotional it was. Again, going back to what I was saying earlier about having this mantra, good music rewards listening. There were moments in that track where I was getting my dopamine release. I was getting the reward for listening to it. And that's what good music does, is it gives you that. It's expressionate. I especially loved the Reese bass in there with the portamento, with the slide. Gives it real expression, especially when you have, like, for example, if you're not a singer, how are you going to convey an emotion, you know, through expression. Using portamento is a really good way of adding that humanization and that expression. Is a respace, yeah. That bass just made that tune, you know. And then the fact that you put you put your wife's vocal in, how sweet is that? And that goes back to what we were just saying before in Foresight's tune, where Foresight was saying that he'd put his own vocal in. You know, this is what is kind of missing sometimes in the era of disposable digital music. We need more personalization in music, and this is what sets you apart from someone who's literally doing it to get girls to kiss them, possibly, or get better DJ gigs or whatever. This is the difference between a producer and an artist, let's say. You know, there's a lot of artists in here. Red Misty, well, that blew my fucking bollocks off. Yes, I agree. That's why I don't have any anymore, because they've just been blown off. David Hart says, I might put my daughter's vocal in after I tell her off for breaking things in my studio. That's a good idea. So yeah, I loved it. I really liked the progression, the chord progression. There was a certain point in it where it lifted, it elevated, it went up, and I was expecting it to not do that. And again, that's good music rewarding listening. And I definitely was rewarded for listening to that. So yeah. And original vocals, exactly. Wyatt says, are you going to do a set today? No, today is, every Tuesday is demo drop. This is a day where I sit down with you guys and have a chat, you know, away from the decks. And it allows me to give something back to you guys for all of the amazing music that I get gifted, and the stuff that I buy as well, you know, and to help in whatever way I can to be of service to you guys, to add more value to you as subscribers, as people on Twitch, by mixing it up a bit and doing something a little bit different here on this channel. So, you know, I don't want it all to be about me behind the decks, because that is not what I'm about. This is, you know, I wouldn't have any music to play if it wasn't for you guys sending it in. So, this is for you lot. So Tuesdays are about you guys. So, and I love it. I've made contact with people by doing this in genres that I never knew existed. You know, and the amazing collaborations that you guys have gone off on your own and done with each other through meeting on here. And it's not just my channel that does it. There's a few different channels that I don't think I've seen one that does like a demo drop kind of thing, but I've seen this one called Tweak Music Tips, which is a great resource for anyone who's live streaming. especially at the moment because there is a lot of bots about and stuff. It's and they the last one that they did, if you go to their channel, let me just put their channel in here. The last stream that I saw that they did a few days ago was talking about bots and bots that follow you and then do like these things called hate raids, and how to combat that. And it's a really good resource for loads of different reasons. They'll help you to learn how to get a good logo, how to set your stream up. And remember as well, guys, if you're not already a part of my Discord, please join the Discord. One of my mods will put the link in now. My Discord, I'm a fully trained mental health first aider as well, so we have a really good mental health section in there. I'm in there a lot, 3 or 4 or 5 times a day, checking in on you. And you're also, to be honest, you're autonomous now with that channel. A lot of you are helping each other, and you're all talking about, you know, any mental health related stuff that you've got. There's a rant section if you just want to have a rant and you don't want anyone to like give you any advice, because sometimes that can be annoying. You know, sometimes you just want to have a rant. We've got a section for that. We have a DJ and live stream section. If you guys want any help on knowing how I do anything with my own live streams, then I'm happy to answer any questions. So yeah, make sure that you join the Discord, and anything that you see or you want to know about. No, Alistair, you can get advice in the rant section. It's just it depends what kind of a mood you're in. If you want to just have a rant, stick it in the rant section. I still give advice. I'll still go in the rant section, and if someone's had a bit of a rant about something and I feel compelled to say something, I will do. So yeah. There you go. Richie's put in the exclamation mark around wank bitch slag slut. Fucking cock womble ball bag prick. There you go. Sometimes that's all you need to do. You know, you just need to get something off your chest. But yeah, please use the Discord, because it's a place where I can still keep in contact with you all when I'm not streaming as well. Oh dear. Yeah, you can offload without reprisal. Exactly. And it's important that you have a space where you can do that. I'm a very, very shit hot on dealing with anyone that's been a dick. We don't have any dicks on the channel. Like, you'll get a warning, and then if you do something again, you'll also be told what you did. And if you carry on doing it, you'll be out. So I've got near enough zero tolerance with twattish behaviour. Right. And now the last one is Tony Perkins. Oh, mate. You guys will probably, if you've been watching the channel, you would have heard Tony Perkins. Now, Tony Perkins is making some really nice, like, tech house kind of stuff. And this one is yet another one. It's yet another one. So let's just dive right in.
Just the other day, I was walking down the street and hit my friend my party. I didn't meet. He was walking down the street, kind of debonair. He was busting it brand new, honeyest of flares. Just the other day, I was walking down the street and hit my friend my party. I didn't meet. He was walking down the street, kind of debonair. He was busting it brand new, honeyest of flares.
Wow. Once again, Tony Perkins, Take a Bow. I love this one. New Strides. I think this style really suits you. It's naturally a it's naturally suits you because of the last 2 or 3 tracks that I've heard in this style. You seem to be in a groove with it. You have a sound. Everything's got its place. Everything's sonically correct. Nothing's sticking out. Arrangement's perfect. Possibly a bit long. And this may be because you're from a hard house background or something. It's 7.5 minutes long. So possibly it could have a shorter version in order to adhere to this particular style of music. You know, for record labels, they'll be a lot more willing to sign you if you kind of stick to a formula that they are more used to. You have more to send me, yeah. It's very untidy dubs kind of stuff. It reminds me a lot of the stuff that Sam Townend is making and putting out there at the moment, which I absolutely love. I absolutely love it. I love playing this kind of stuff at the beginning of a set. So keep them coming. But yeah, I really feel that this is a good move for you. Yeah. I'd even go and speak to Tidy and see if they would sign it. At the very least, you'd probably get some feedback on it. But I would go to them and see what they think. It would be really cool for you to get on a label like Tidy as well, especially with this kind of stuff. It's very current. And I think I'm just excited for you. I'm really excited for you because all of them have been this good. So yeah, how would you send it to them? Send me a message, and I will give you the email to send. I'll just check that I'm allowed to give out the email first, but I'm pretty sure I'll be able to, but I just need to check first that I'm able to let you have the email. But just send me a personal message afterwards on, you're on my Facebook, aren't you? Just to remind me, and then I will just quickly send a message over to probably Sam Townend and see if I'm allowed to give you the email address. But yeah, I think that it would be good for you to... I'm surprised you haven't even tried to send it over to Tidy yet, to be honest with you. But that would be my first port of call for that kind of a track. And then from that point, maybe like... What other labels are there for this kind of stuff? Alan Fitzpatrick's got a good label, but it's best to kind of go with someone that you have some kind of connections with. So I'd say Tidy. Haha, I don't send my music to anyone other than you. Well, that has to change, and this is what this goddamn show is all about. You know, I want you guys to start getting confident in your work, because I'm not just saying, oh, that's great, you know, I mean it when I'm saying that this stuff is ready. And this is the problem when you are your own island, so to speak. You don't know necessarily when it's time to start releasing stuff. I've been like this as well. I'm really shy when it comes to finishing stuff. Like the first techno track that I finished wasn't the first one I finished, but I did it in like 2 days when I was over in Ibiza a couple of years ago, and I gave it to my mentor Steve Mack from Rhythm Masters. Like Rhythm Masters, massive name from back in the day, tied to Todd Terry, Royal Records, and he signed it to his label on the spot. And I didn't think it was any good, but he obviously thought that it was. And it is. Like now I've spent enough time away from it, I have listened to it without judgment or investment, and it is a good tune. It is a good tune. But I am very much like you. I berate myself. I don't think I'm good enough. And it takes other people to have to say, no, you're ready. This is it. You know, you just start pushing stuff out, because you can't level up. When you get to a certain point with your productions, you can't level up until you've put a line under it. It's out. Now you move on to the next thing, and then the next thing. And until you allow yourself to get the feedback and you allow yourself to be vulnerable, it's really difficult to move past that phase. But yeah, you need to be sending stuff out now, babes. You do. And when I'm saying it to you, I'm saying it to me as well. This is therapy for me as well, doing this show. It helps me as well. And I love the fact that this is a win-win situation, that we're all in this together and there's no hierarchy with it. You guys are so helpful. Yeah, Umex 1605. Yeah, exactly. And please don't even be dismayed if you get a no, because it doesn't matter if, like I've said to you earlier before, and I've said this a million times, don't put all of your worth into a label saying yes or no. The label's going to have a reason for saying yes or no because they're a business, you know, and there's only so many people who they can get behind. But if you've got 4 or 5 really strong tracks to go in straight away and show that to a label, you probably got more chance than just giving them one tune. That's another good thing to remember. And make sure you only send in the best ones. Don't send in like, oh, that's a filler. Make sure you're sending in the best stuff that you have. So yeah. So there. And that brings us to the conclusion of another very successful demo drop. Now I want you all to stay there because I'm going to be raiding you shortly. Who am I going to raid you to? Let's have a little look. Deck Teaser's on! You guys are going to Deck Teaser. I'm coming with you as well. Deck Teaser Sherry, she's one of my friends. She's a fucking dickhead. And I love her to bits. So we're going to go over there now. I'm going to go and show her some love. Tash, I love you so much, darling. I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of each and every one of you who've sent in your stuff. Thank you for all. Dale, thank you very much for the raid. I forgot to say thank you. Scar, thank you for the follow. Movement81, thank you for the follow. Smith Ben Martin, thank you for the follow. So Pragmatic, thank you for resubscribing. Happy anniversary to us. Now, let's go on over and see Sherry and go and give her some love. I said Deck Teaser, yes. But yeah, I will see you again. I'm having my day off tomorrow, so I'm not around tomorrow. But Thursday, I'm back. So there we go. Movement, we're off now. You stay where you are because you're coming with us. All right? Okay. Last one, there's a rotten potato. See you in a bit. Mwah. Love you. Bye.